Okay, so the next point is industries are considered the backbone of development. Industries are considered the backbone of development. Why are industries considered the backbone of development? There are certain reasons for considering them the backbone of development. The first one is it helps in modernizing agriculture. In modernizing agriculture. So, the reason why industries are considered the backbone of development is that they modernized the agricultural processes. So, why are industries considered the backbone of development? They are considered the backbone of development because they help in modernizing the processes of agriculture. The different processes which were there in agriculture, such as tilling and sowing of seeds and plowing and harvesting and all the other different types of activities were there. And with the introduction of industries, different types of tools were manufactured which could now be used in the different processes of agriculture. They could now be used in the processes of harvesting and in the processes of sowing of seeds, and different types of machinery are being manufactured in the industries so that they can simplify and improve the processes or modernize the processes of agriculture. Okay, so what happened that before the introduction of industries, the people of India were primarily employed in agriculture. That is, the primary source of their livelihood, the primary source of income for the people of India was agriculture. Most of the people of India were employed in different types of activities like farming, etc. And the agriculture was the main source of income for them. So, with the introduction of industries, people started to be employed in different types of factories, whether it be small scale industries or large scale industries. They were employed in different factories and different types of industries, and they were provided employment. They could now earn their livelihood from different sources other than agriculture. This export of manufactured goods expand trade and commerce. Export of manufactured goods expand trade and commerce. So in the earlier times, people used to make products to be sold in the local market. They could only make a small number of products. So now with the introduction of industries, what happened? That with the introduction of industry, people could now manufacture a large amount of products. They could now do mass production, and because there was mass production, that excess amount of products which they could now produce was now to be exported to different countries. They could now expand their trade and commerce. They could now expand their trade and commerce. That is, the surplus amount of goods that they were producing now because of the introduction of industries could now be exported to the different parts of the world. They could now be exported across the boundaries of the country to the different parts of the world. So these are the reasons why the industries were considered as the backbone of development. The first one is it helped in the modernizing of agriculture. That is, it helped in the improvement of different practices of agriculture, whether it be sowing seeds and plowing and harvesting, because new tools and equipments were being manufactured in the industries. And the second point is that it reduced the heavy dependence of people on agriculture as the source of income. Earlier, the primary source of income was agriculture, and with the introduction of industries, new factories were set up that could now employ a greater number of workers. So it also helped in providing employment to the people. Then the third point is export of manufactured goods helped in expanding the trade and commerce. The industries helped in producing surplus amount of goods, and these surplus goods could now be transported to the different parts of the world and at the same time meet the demands of the local market. Okay class, so what we have discussed so far? We have discussed that what are industries, and we have discussed the term manufacturing, industries are considered backbone of development. Backbone of development. So this was the introduction of the chapter. Now we will discuss the main topic, which is classification of industries. Okay. So the industries are classified on the basis of their size and on the basis of raw materials and on the basis of the ownership. Okay. So the industries are classified on the basis of their size, on the basis of raw material and on the basis of ownership. Okay, so the first one is on the basis of size. On the basis of size. So the industries on the basis of size are classified into cottage industries, small industries and large scale industries. Cottage industries, small scale industries and large scale industries. On the basis of size, this classification is according to the amount of capital invested, labor force employed, quantity of output and level of mechanization. In the classification based on size, what are the things that we consider? We consider the amount of capital invested, that is, what is the amount of money which is to be invested in the industry, in the setup of the industry and the different kind of processes that take place inside industry, such as the manufacturing of products and the packaging of the products and the distribution and selling of the products. Okay, and these are the processes that take place in the industries. So what amount of capital is to be invested in the setup of those industries and in the different types of processes, different stages of manufacturing and the stage of packaging and the stage of distribution, and what amount of money is required for different stages in the industries, and also labor force employed. Labor force employed means how many workers are required in the industry. You can employ your labor locally as well. You can also employ your labor from outside the villages and towns. And what type of workers, what are the features of the workers, such as whether they are skilled or they are trained or whether they are just have the skills that were passed on to them from their ancestors, that is the hereditary skills. So what are the characteristics of the type of labor which is required in the different types of industries? Third one is quantity of output. That is, whether the industries are producing on a large scale, that is, they are producing a lot of amount of goods, whether the industry is producing on a mass scale, and the level of mechanization, that is, whether the industries are having manual labor in the factories or whether they are using different types of machineries, tools and equipments for the different processes in the industry, such as manufacturing, packaging and distribution. Right. So the first industry on the basis of size is cottage industry. First one is cottage industry. The first one is cottage industries. So the cottage industries are those industries which produce goods and services on a very small scale, and they operate in your towns and villages, and they also employ the family members as the workers, and those family members have hereditary skills that were passed on to them from their ancestors, from generation to generation. That is, they learn how to do a particular thing, that is a technique of anything, that is the technique of making the product. They learned it from their parents, that is okay, that is they learned it from their parents. Okay, then the cottage industries also have a very small amount of capital invested, that is a very small amount of money is required to set up the industry and for the different processes that take place in the industries, such as packaging and distributing and producing, that is manufacturing. Then cottage industries make use of mechanical power, but it is very limited. The mechanical power that the cottage industry use is very limited. They make use of machines, but those machines are not that heavy duty industries, heavy duty machineries which are used in other industries such as small industries and large industries. Cottage industries use simple machinery like a hand loom, right, or a stitching machine, or a machinery which is a very simple kind of machine, right? And it also does not require much of power. That is, to operate those machines, you do not require much of electricity and different types of sources of energy, right, to operate those machineries. In the cottage industry, the simple tools and equipments are used. Very simple type of equipments and tools are used in the making of products. Then, the products that are manufactured in the cottage industries are for the local market. They are not manufactured or produced so that they can be exported to different countries, or they can be sold throughout the country. They are not produced for that purpose. They are just produced for meeting the demands of the local market. Right? They are produced for meeting the demands of the local market, of the same village, of the same town, and of the local people. Right? And the products also have aesthetic value. The products which are produced in the cottage industry are very beautiful. They have an aesthetic value. Right? They also help in preserving the traditions and culture of the country. Right? The different handicrafts that you find in the cottage industry, what do you see? You see the different types of art and the crafts that people of India have acquired over time, right? The different types of pottery that you see, the different types of baskets that you see, and what do you observe in the cottage industry? That is, different types of techniques are used, which are specific to our country, that were passed on from generation to generation by our ancestors, and these techniques were indigenous to us Indian people. These techniques were indigenous to us Indian people, and these comprise the traditional art and culture of our country. Right? These industries help in preserving the tradition and art of our country. Then the cottage industries are popular in the rural areas. The cottage industries are mostly found in the rural areas and the villages, right, of the Asian countries. So the cottage industries are popular in the village areas and towns, small towns of the Asian countries. Cottage industries help in providing employment. They hold a very special position in India. The cottage industries have a very important role to play in India, which is to provide employment to the rising population. To provide employment to the rising population. That is, as you know that still a majority of the population still lives in the villages and towns. These are yet to be urbanized, right? So there are no factories and industries in those villages and towns. So these cottage industries help a lot for the people of the villages and towns to make a livelihood. Right? They are a very good source of income for them. Right? They provide employment to the people of villages and towns. So let me write down all the important points here. They use local raw materials. They make use of local raw materials that are found in the same villages or towns. They do not import any raw material. So the first point that we discussed was the cottage industries make use of local raw materials which are found in the villages and towns only, right? They do not import any kind of raw material from different other states or different countries. They do not import anything from outside the borders of the country. They just use the local raw materials that are found in the villages and towns, in their own villages and towns. Second point that we discussed was the cottage industries make use of family members as workers. Family members as workers. The family members are employed as the workers in the cottage industries. The capital invested was very small. Capital invested is small. Hereditary skills. Were employed in these industries, and they were passed on from generation to generation. The use of mechanical power is very limited. Simple tools and equipments were used. Simple tools and equipments were used. They did not use any kind of heavy machinery as are used in the small scale and large scale industries, such as hand loom and a stitching machine, etc. Right? Then we saw that the products are made for local market. The products are made for local market, and the products have aesthetic value. That is, they are very beautiful. They are aesthetically pleasing. They are aesthetically pleasing to the eyes. Okay, products have aesthetic value. They reflect the culture, the tradition, the rich culture and tradition of our country. Acid preserving preserves tradition, art and culture. So these are the features of cottage industry. The first one is they make use of the local raw materials. Second point is the cottage industries make use of family members as workers. The members of the family are employed as workers in the cottage industry. Then we saw that the capital invested is very small. A very small amount of money is required to set up the industries and for the different processes of manufacturing. That is the different processes of making the products. The hereditary skills were passed on from generation to generation. We saw that the mechanical power is used, but it is used in limited amount. Right? These are very simple and they do not require much power. Right? And simple tools and equipments are used, such as the hand loom and stitching machine. Hand loom, stitching machine, a sewing machine, stitching machine, etc. Right? Then we saw that the products are made up for the local market, for meeting the demands of the local market, that is the people that are living in the villages and towns. These products are made for meeting the demands of those people. Then we saw that products have aesthetic value, that is the products are aesthetically pleasing, they are pleasing to the eye and they are very beautiful. They also help in preserving the tradition, art and culture of the country.